Let me ask you a question, Cuffy. At any time during the initial stages of your indictment involving this whole Tammy Commons thing, did you talk to Big Meech or did you send a message to Big Meech in any way to tell him or to alert him of what was going on?
We sent Big Meech certified mail. Big Meech set me up, and Tammy set me up with this thing in 2013.
Well, did Blue Da Vinci cooperate or no?
Yeah, he cooperated. I mean, I didn't see it. It was in Miss Mara Shalhoub's book, where his own lawyer said, yeah, if there was anything else that we could do, Your Honor, to help you along with this case.
Yeah, y'all, you will not believe what just happened. Big Meech has been completely exposed and the receipts are absolutely wild. When 50 Cent dropped that bombshell paperwork suggesting Meech might have been playing the snitch game, the internet completely lost it. But seriously, where did 50 even dig up this so-called proof? Word on the street is he's got some former BMF insiders in his pocket and they're spilling everything like they're competing for a prize.
One night, and then my homeboy that was with me, he was like, Tone Bird, he from BMF too. Tone was like, ask Big Homie what's up with the movie with 50, like what's going on with him from New York. I had to use my New York accent. Yo, what's going on with the 50 Cent movie? So I'm like, oh, yo, Meech, what's up with the movie, with the TV show?
And listen to this. People are whispering all kinds of things behind Meek's back, but Big Meek is not having any of that nonsense. The streets are buzzing that Meek is ready to confront 50 personally, front row seat and everything, to show him exactly how a real kingpin handles disrespect and betrayal.
My client would be more than willing to cooperate with you all to help you in this investigation. But now the thing of it is by you admitting what was done, you know what I'm saying, what you done or whatever, but bottom line is, you know, you didn't take the single plea. You went in and...
This isn't just some petty back and forth beef, y'all. We're talking legendness on the line here. And let's be honest, 50 Cent has a major reputation for throwing cash around to air people's dirty laundry. Once he locks onto someone, that man does not let go. He claims like his life depends on it.
Was giving them information on that they already had and thought it was cool, but you know, that was part of that. You just confirmed other that the other CIs just done told.
He's like, I just gotta wait to holler at Tammy before, you know what I'm saying, I know where we at with that. And Tammy is a government informant. So when he said that, I was like, Tammy, what you mean, Tammy? Like, nigga, you ain't heard what's going on with her?
But this time, 50 might want to think twice because Big Meek isn't just some random nobody. We're talking about Demetrius Big Meek Flannery, the mastermind behind the Black Mafia family. His name carries serious weight from coast to coast. Let me break this down real quick. Back in the 80s, Meek and his younger brother Terry, Southwest T Flannery, started hustling with $50 0-cent bags on the streets. Fast forward to the early 2000s and they transformed their grind into a national empire. They had the game on lock, moving major weight through Michigan, Georgia, Florida, California, Louisiana, and beyond. That kind of insane money flow had the feds snapping their heads up fast. To keep the heat off, the brothers created BMF Entertainment as a front, and honey, that became pure street legend. On the surface, it looked like just another party promotion business, but behind closed doors, that's where the real money moves were happening. They were cleaning cash like absolute pros. But here's the crazy twist. BMF Entertainment wasn't just smoke and mirrors. They actually had one legit artist representing their brand, Blue Da Vinci. He hit the scene in 2005 and even dropped a whole album called The World Is BMUs. Sounded official, right? But hold up. By October 2005, the feds had already kicked down doors, arrested Big Meech, and swapped his diamond chains for prison jumpsuits. And immediately everyone started pointing fingers at Blue, whispering that he must be the snitch.
Why? Because out of the whole BMF crew, Blue seemed the weakest link.
And when the feds raided BMF in 2003, guess who didn't get touched?
That's right.
Blue somehow slipped right through that net. By 2004, things got even UGLier. BMF's logistics boss, Dexter Sosa Hussey, started throwing major shade at Blue too. And this wasn't just street talk. Sosa was speaking on court records. Blue showed up to court with his lawyer thinking everything was fine, when boom, his own lawyer spilled to the judge. Your Honor, I forgot to mention earlier when you asked which defendants tried to cooperate. Mr. McKnight Blue was one who tried to work with the government. They even debriefed him. But get this, turns out Blue didn't actually know anything useful about the other BMF heavyweights. His snitching attempt didn't even land. His lawyer admitted the debriefing happened months before that court appearance, and Blue had just done a safety valve session that same week. Basically, Blue was sitting there ready to tell all, but he had nothing worth offering. That's when everyone started wondering if Blue didn't have the juice, who really feds the inside scoop. This is where things get absolutely wild. After years of being dragged as a rat, Blue finally said enough in 2023. During an interview with Capone News, he flipped the entire script and dropped a bombshell, exposing the real person who gave up all the goods. And that's when Tammy Cowan's name exploded onto the scene.
It's believed that Terry White grew up in an Atlanta housing project. But when FBI and GBI agents arrested him last night, he was living here, a sprawling $200,000 mansion in Jonesboro.
Had a media room where there were 24 TV sets on one wall hooked to a satellite dish. And you could hit a button and all 24 TVs would come.
Who's Tammy Cowan's? She wasn't just anybody. She'd been Meek's business partner since way back in 2008. After Meek got locked up, she stayed loyal, keeping in touch, running errands for him behind bars, acting like she was ride or die. Meek trusted her so much that he handed her everything, even signing over the rights to his life story. Tammy had the golden ticket in her hands. She could turn his legacy into a money-printing machine, and best believe she did by linking up with 50 Cent to co-produce that smash hit 2021 show, BMF. But here's the shocking part. She gave up information that cracked a whole money laundering case wide open. And this wasn't just some petty street hustle either. Thanks to Tammy running her mouth, a major player named Terry White got arrested and thrown behind bars. And listen to this. When Tammy first started talking, she wasn't even getting paid. But once her tip helped the DEA arrest Terry White, the agents realized they had something valuable. That's when her handler, DEA agent Harsh, put her name in for a reward, a sweet cut from all the assets they seized from White's operation. And we're talking major assets, racks on racks, cash, cars, mansions, everything. But here's the wildest part. Tammy didn't become an informant because she was broke, scared, or backed into a corner. The paperwork made it crystal clear Tammy had no criminal record, wasn't caught up in drugs, wasn't begging for a deal, and wasn't ducking any charges. Even the feds admitted Tammy was one of the weirdest informants they'd ever dealt with. So why'd she do it? Revenge, pure and simple. Word is Terry White used Tammy to wash his dirty money without her knowledge, and once she discovered the truth, she flipped the entire game. This wasn't about fame, money, or saving herself. This was personal. Tammy wanted payback, and she played it ice cold. While all this drama was unfolding, Big Meech was cooking up his own major play from behind prison walls. And trust me, it was bold. While locked up, Meech connected with a serious player, a cartel contact named Fidel Suarez. Suarez wasn't some small-time hustler. He ran an entire trucking empire out of California. And he served good time, too. Tore at with Meech method Yang 94. The feds had already been watching him twice, arrested him in 2005, then again in 2009 for suspected trafficking. But both times, Suarez slipped out of those charges like magic. Meech saw a golden opportunity. Even locked down, he planned to tap into Suarez's pipeline to keep product moving from behind bars. His idea? If he could still push weight from his cell, the cash would keep flowing no matter how long he was locked up. But Meech couldn't touch the streets from prison. He needed someone on the outside to make moves for him. And that's when Tammy slid right back into the picture. According to leaked paperwork, in September 2011, Meek contacted Tammy, identified as CS1, and straight up asked her to help arrange a delivery that Suarez was supposed to handle. By that point, Tammy and Suarez were already in direct contact. The documents reveal Suarez first reached out to Tammy just to check in and ask how Meek was doing. But behind those friendly words, that seemingly innocent call kicked off something much bigger than anyone expected. With Tammy now deeply connected, Meek made her the go-between, linking Fidel Suarez directly to his longtime friend Dion Cuffy Gatling. And listen, Cuffy was no small player. Court records show Cuffy ran the entire Gatling trafficking organization, a serious operation that flooded St. Louis with product from 2009 all the way to 2014. Together, Meek, Suarez, and Cuffy were joining forces to move major weight across state lines. We're talking big-time moves. The only problem? They had a snake slithering right through their operation, and her name was Tammy. She was secretly feeding every single move back to the feds without blinking. Thanks to all her snitching, law enforcement built a massive case. On March 13, 2014, they finally arrested Cuffy. When everything settled, Cuffy got hit hard, 27 years behind bars for drug trafficking and weapons charges during a deal that ended with someone losing their life. But here's the most insane part. Meech didn't catch a single charge for setting up the whole operation, not even a slap on the wrist. And now everyone's asking the same question. How did Meech dodge an indictment when his fingerprints were all over the setup? Here's the wild twist. It's absolutely clear the feds knew exactly what was happening. Tammy straight up lied to protect Meech when questioned in court. According to official documents during a hearing, Tammy was grilled hard about paragraph 8, the part where CS1, Tammy told investigators Demetrius Flannery coordinated drug distribution between Suarez and Gatling. When hit with the question in court, Tammy didn't hesitate. She said no. She covered for me completely. No hesitation, no second guessing, just pure loyalty. But after that bold move, the feds immediately threw a red flag on her name. They realized they couldn't trust her anymore. Wait, it gets even messier. Turns out Tammy wasn't just involved in the investigation, she was getting intimate with one of the DEA agents working the case. That's right, she was sleeping with someone on the inside, and that relationship completely wrecked the entire operation. Tammy was playing every angle like a chess master. But no matter how slick you think you are, eventually the walls close in. By March 2015, everything started crumbling around her. It all fell apart when Tammy discovered a suppression motion filed by Gatling's legal team that threatened to expose her identity as the confidential source CS1. The moment Tammy realized her name might hit the streets, panic set in, and for good reason. Dion Cuffy Gatling wasn't just any dealer, he had a bloody reputation. Official records show Gatling was convicted of ordering a hit on a man named Theus Howard back in 2010 just because Howard snitched on Gatling's brother and his crew. And in 2013, Gatling's name came up again, tied to another murder, this time a man named Terrence Morgan, because Morgan was about to talk to the feds about Gatling's empire. With all that blood on his hands, Tammy knew exactly what time it was. If Gatling ever discovered she was feeding info to the feds, it would have been lights out, no questions asked. Terrified for her life, Tammy ran to the feds begging for protection, but they completely abandoned her. With nowhere else to turn, Tammy made one final desperate move. She went to Big Meech himself. After all those years of loyalty, after riding for him through thick and thin, Tammy thought Meech would come through for her. But Meech wasn't exactly rushing to help when she showed up looking for protection. He kept it cold and direct, told her straight up he didn't want his name caught up in any of it. He wasn't trying to get involved, didn't want heat from Gatling, and definitely didn't want his name appearing in court documents connected to the whole mess. After that ice-cold meeting, Tammy knew she was completely alone. She went into full damage control, doing everything possible to erase Meech's name from the case. She even dragged in the DEA agent she'd been sleeping with, accusing him of being jealous about how close she was with Meech. Court records show Tammy threatened to drop an unsworn affidavit on everyone involved in the case. She was ready to send it to lawyers, the judge, everybody. In that affidavit, she went off. She directly challenged statements in the wiretap affidavit claiming Meech arranged the connection between Gatling and Suarez. Tammy flat out said, Agent Chroma, the same guy she was sleeping with, only dragged Meech's name into the mess because he was jealous about her relationship with Meech. Is this not absolutely insane? This story is wilder than any fiction. If you made it this far, you know this drama is too much. What do you think about this whole messy situation? Drop your thoughts below. I'm dying to hear what you think about this wild BMF saga.